Oh, hi there. Um, in this video, I would like to discuss a topic that's been on my mind, and I've already made a video or two about it, and I'm calling it the realignment of the middle class. What I'm getting at in this video is that the minimum wage is obviously going up. It's already gone up in many parts of Canada, and fairly soon in British Columbia it will go up as well to $15 in 2021. And I am not in for that because, as I stated before, I'd rather have $10 and be able to do more with it than have 15 and be able to do less with it. That's not a concept people who are making 10 bucks an hour want to hear right now. But as a veteran of the the industry that I work at, I've seen things change and I've seen prices go up. And this minimum wage increase, for one thing, is not enough. And for two, people who make more than the minimum wage at this point in time, their money will be worth less. And it was kind of clever how, the government went about, well, how can we realign the middle class? We obviously can't, decrease the amount of money that people either make by salary or hourly rate, or else we'll get an uproar. And the thing is, people are less inclined to get an uproar if something happens right under their feet, and then bam, it's like that, and like the system's already in place, and you might get miffed about it, but there's not much you can do about it, and you're more inclined to accept it. That time hasn't come yet, so if enough people notice, it may not come. And the thing is, like, as I said before, my employer is not going to reimburse me or compensate me for the minimum wage increasing, because they're going to look at me and they're going to go, well, you already make more than minimum wage. And that'll be the same with a lot of jobs. The people who are making 25 bucks an hour, 30 bucks an hour, 35 bucks an hour, 35 bucks an hour will start to look more like 30 bucks an hour in comparison to today, and 30 bucks will start to look more like 25, 25 will start to look more like 20, and 20 will start to look more like 15. That is a reality because prices are going up on everything. And amongst this confusion is where the realignment will happen. Um, Trudeau is a sanctimonious, porcelain-faced, thinks he's a do-gooder when really he's just shafting a different set of people and then disguising it. I think I might have said, I most certainly have in social media chats, that he is like the Two-Face. He looks like a gambler. Half of his face is probably hideous that he disguises from the public, and the other one is this nice, friendly guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in reality, he's just a scumbag. And I would like to see him lose next year's election. That's all I would like, is for him to lose. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be nice. Um, yeah, so amongst this realignment of the middle class, there will be unions that are stronger in different industries. I lightly covered this in the other video I made about the subject. Because, as I stated before, that these jobs are higher stress, higher risk, longer hours, more responsibility, and just genuinely a less relaxed environment. Now, they have their advantages already. They know more about society in different ways than other people do in simpler jobs. They don't put up with the same kind of bullshit that people doing normal jobs have to put up with. They can go through the system much faster, and these people typically are trained in such a way that they're callous. They don't care. Um, they'll shaft anyone if that's just part of what their job requirement is. They'll lie to anybody. And I don't want to spell out the kind of people I'm talking about, but I mean, put two and two together. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Um, okay, all good and well. You know, some of them work very hard, get little appreciation, and you know, it's very, very difficult for them. I understand that. I mean, I don't care because I have my own biases, but I understand. And you know, those jobs that they do are necessary. They are needed, obviously, for you know, the various reasons. Probably not all the jobs that you know, fall in that category, but a lot of them, there are reasons for it. And the thing is, those people, they like to think they're smarter. They like to think, well, supposing this guy's right, supposing it is a realignment of the middle class, and that they're the ones that are supposed to benefit. Wrong. The people doing, you know, the chump work in those industries, they may say, not say, see a slight improvement financially wise and that sort of thing, which would make what they do for a career more lucrative to people who would normally have gone for the more relaxed job, the easier job. Not necessarily, you know, physically is easier, but you know, less stress, less anxiety, less responsibility in the sense that you know, things, just things, and like the bottom feeders in those particular jobs are still going to be the bottom feeders. And what it is, and I did say this in my other video, was that it will be people who are at the top of the pyramid in those particular jobs who are actually going to be raking in more money proportionate to inflation. And inflation is a good way of covering that up. And we live in a society where a lot of people, they don't want nobody knowing how much they make. And that's another point I made before. And I said, look, I don't give a rat's ass. Anyone could know that I make 22 bucks an hour. It doesn't matter to me. For other people, you know, it's all shrouded in secret and mystery, and it's just like, oh, I don't want them knowing anything about my life. They're all like Lenny from The Simpsons, where they're like, please don't tell anyone how I live. And it's just like, you pathetic sap. You really, really are. I mean, obviously, if you're embarrassed about something, then you know you wouldn't go around telling people. But like, wait, like if you live a normal life, what do you got to be embarrassed about? I mean, there's some dude in Africa right now who's swatting 20 flies off his face, and some dude in India taking a shit in the street. What are you embarrassed about? Oh, I'm embarrassed because I don't iron my shirts. Okay. Yeah, that's a reason to be embarrassed, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not embarrassed about things like that. They don't bother me. Although I wish I, you know, would work out a little bit more. But anyway, that's getting off topic. Um, yeah, I just don't like the direction that this is going as far as monetary things. And I know I can't be the only person who's observed it and has something to say about it. I'm not seeing any other videos about it, especially no, you know, high budget ones with special effects and things like that, and you know, look like they were filmed in a studio and that sort of stuff. Um, Mainstream propaganda ones. No, 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 no. That's not the way they want to tell the story, is it? They want to tell the story like, oh, minimum wage is a great thing. We got to increase it, and Justin Trudeau's helping out and things like that. Although I will admit, on the internet, you don't always hear nice things about Justin Trudeau, but uh, that's, you know, public opinion rather than what mainstream media says. And it's very frustrating because it's the same message over and over and over again. And it's, you know, it's so pathetic. It's like if a medieval king had subjects who had the computer and had the internet, that's what they would do to exercise their authority. And it's like, in the hundreds of years since that was the case, is that still the way you want to go about doing it? Is just keep telling the same story the same way, discrediting anyone who disagrees with you, because that is the reality. We like to think we live in a opinionated society where people can contradict each other, and they can, but most often they're shut down before they even get a chance. And on the obviously on public television or anything like that, if anyone steps out of line and says the wrong thing to a guy like Justin Trudeau, and not wrong in the sense that they're wrong, but wrong in contradiction to Justin Trudeau's rhetoric, that person will never be seen again around Justin Trudeau. That's a fact. I'm sure he gets called a whole pile of names behind closed doors by people who do not like him. But as a person of lower gentry, if they were to have the opportunity to meet Justin Trudeau, like a reporter or something like that, who knows, anybody, if they said something they weren't supposed to in front of Justin Trudeau and it contradicted his rhetoric, that person would never get the chance to speak to a prime minister ever again. Not just Justin Trudeau, but the next guy and the next person and the next person and the next person. And I don't like the underlying feeling of where society is going. In regards to how much money is going to be worth in the future, and the fact that all money transactions, or you got to do it on the internet. Like the banks are always pushing, do online banking, do online banking, and I'm like, I don't want to do online banking. Okay, I just don't want to do it. And in a way, you don't have a choice because kind of you are anyway. Um, because they take your information and they put it on the internet. You can't have a job, you can't buy a car, you can't buy a house, you can't do anything unless you have a bank account. And the bank, you can't even tell them don't put it on the internet, because the first thing they do is go put it on the internet. Everything, your social insurance number, all this information, and you have no idea who can look into that or not. And the clerk behind the desk isn't even gonna know. The manager's not even gonna know. And that's how they exercise their control, is that the chump at the bottom knows nothing, and then as you go up the food chain, the chump is a little bit less of a chump and more of an asshole. That's usually the case. So, I mean, middle management will be somewhat assholes, upper management will be big time assholes, and then it just gets bigger and bigger from there. But you gotta ask yourself, do you want to be a chump or an asshole? Or, think of another way of, freeing yourself from um, modern day slavery, really. I mean, it's a stretch, saying that in Canada, working in a regular place, because, uh, you know, uh, it's a job. You should have to do something to earn, the better things in life. And compared to, the other places in the world where they actually literally are slaves, Canada's not so bad in comparison, but it could be better. 40 hours a week is a lot of time to invest in a job. And $15 minimum increase, that's not going to resolve that. All those people who make more money are still going to be working 40 hours a week. The ones that do anyway, because they're not living at their parents' place or whatever. And I know this because I know there are guys who make more money than me who work every second they get a chance to. Any chance they get to work at the place of employment, they take it. And that's because I'm not one of these people who's chasing every dollar. Um, I've got things on the go, and I have other ideas on how about things can be better in my situation. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying. Um, yeah, so this minimum wage increase, you're going to get an army of millennials going, this is a good thing, this is a good thing, it's the first thing I've ever heard in my life, therefore it's the best. No, you're stupid. And it'll take about, I don't know, 10 minutes for anybody to come along and, belittle your beliefs and destroy what it is you thought about what you knew about the world, if they were inclined to do that. I do not care. I mean, if they want to run around like idiots, that's their business. The snowflakes, liberals, any of those sort of types. I've had to put up with too much of them on social media as it is. They are dumb. And if you can't teach them not to be dumb, then, what's the point? And when I say teach them not to be dumb, I mean you defeat them in an argument if they insist on having one with you on social media and they chose to ignore your point and go about doing whatever it is they wanted to do anyway, or believe whatever it is they wanted to believe anyway. I don't have that impediment. If I'm wrong about something, I can accept that. But there are a lot of people out there who can't. And I'm saying this minimum wage increase is not a good thing. I'm not in support of it at all. And, it wouldn't be so bad if it just meant, everyone's wages change to adapt to the ability to say that whatever's worth this much, and it all worked out proportionately, and it just leaves more room for money between dollars, I should say, or more money between $50 and $100. Then that wouldn't be so bad, but that's not what it is. The minimum wage increase, the middle class realignment, is to change who is the middle class. And as I said, Justin Trudeau is more interested in certain types of people making more money. They have stronger unions. They know the law a lot better than the rest of us do. And they're the kind of people that will step over, the less fortunate's misery to get what they want, despite whatever it is they say. A lot of them pretend they're really nice people, and they're not. Some of them are. Some of them are genuinely nice people, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them have the facade of being nice, but then they go along and be a prick about things in various ways. There's many ways that people can be shitty, and that's just part of life, is that people are cunts in a lot of ways. I'm not perfect, but I don't pretend that I am. I don't pretend that I have the nicest opinions about everything, because I don't. And that's the difference between me and those type of people who want to make money, more money, and they don't care if they have to shaft somebody else to do it. Yeah, it's one of those things. I had some more to add to the topic, but it's 2:30 in the morning for me, so I'll have to make another video at some point, because I am concerned about this minimum wage change. I don't think it's a good thing, as I've said like probably a dozen times in this video. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.